Yesterday I spoke to you guys about Sandeep Singh, after which one of my favorite teachers from school asked me to talk about another player that India has produced, who in fact was the person who taught Sandeep Singh the art of drag flicking. I'm talking about Jugraj Singh. Now, before Jugraj Singh was a coach, he played for India from 2001 to 2003. And at the time was considered to be one of the most daring defenders that India had produced, and also had a really good drag flick. Now, one of the most famous stories to have stemmed out of his career was in 2003 when India took on Pakistan in a Champions Trophy group stage match. Now, this match went on to become a testament for the kind of determination and heart that Jugraj played the sport of hockey. Sohail Abbas was at the time considered to be the best drag flicker in the world, and he was leading the line for the Pakistan's attack. Now, before I get into what exactly happened in that match, let me first explain to you guys what exactly the drag flick is. Now, when an attacking team is awarded a penalty corner, the defenders go inside their goal post and around it and stand in stance to stop the drag flicker from hitting the ball inside the net. Now, the ball is passed to the drag flicker who's standing right in front of the goal from the end line, which is right next to the goal post, and the drag flicker receives it and flicks it straight into the towards the net. Now, this is no normal flick. It is a drag flick, which means it has 10 times the pace on it, and with the heavy hockey ball, it can cause severe damage to anyone who's standing between the ball and its destination. Now, at that point in time in the sport of hockey, there was a concept of the first runner. Now, the first runner is the guy who from the defensive team is the first to charge towards the drag flicker in his attempt to divert the ball away from the goal. In that match in 2003, Jugraj Singh was India's first runner. In the first minute of play, Pakistan were awarded a penalty corner, and up stepped Sohail Abbas to take the shot. Now, Jugraj Singh was standing in his position and was the first runner of the team, which meant he was the first who had to run towards Sohail Abbas to stop him from making the shot. As the ball was passed to Sohail started to flick the ball towards the goal, and Jugraj Singh, blatantly without any regard for his body or any injury scare, ran towards the ball, put his body on the line and stopped Sohail Abbas from scoring that goal. Now, this happened again and again throughout the match. Every time Sohail Abbas would step up to take a penalty corner, Jugraj Singh would be the first runner and he would charge towards him and divert the ball away from goal. Each time the ball hit his body and he took a blow, but at the time he did not give any care about it. Now, despite all his efforts, by the way, he also scored 2 goals in the first half itself. So the score at halftime was 4-2. India were still trailing Pakistan. But you could see in that first half that Jugraj Singh was switched on. I mean, defensively, attacking, in both halves of the pitch, he was there. He wanted to perform that day. And after the first half ended and when the teams came out for the second half, Jugraj was a different player and the whole team was a different team. He started off in the first few minutes by assisting 2 more goals, and India leveled the score at 4-4. Soon after, we scored 3 more goals and took the match by a score of 7-4 goals. Now, that match became one of the greatest comeback victories in the history of hockey in India, but it is most famously remembered for Jugraj's daring and his ability to not think about anything else apart from stopping the ball. I mean, Sohail Abbas was so frustrated by the end of the match. Like, talk about the best players of the world being frustrated by a defender who's time and again denying him goal scoring opportunities. Towards the end of the game, Sohail Abbas just held his hands up and said, "I am not going to take any more penalty corners. This guy has been stopping me the entire match, so someone else please take it." Such was the level of performance that Jugraj displayed defensively in that match. After that 2003 famous victory, Jugraj's career did not exactly go the way he had planned. He suffered a horrific car accident, after which he couldn't play hockey for a while. After recovering from those injuries, he did make a comeback to professional hockey, but was not the same player that he used to be, and so couldn't return to the Indian side. But this short career of his just showed all of us the heart with which he played the game. After retirement from the sport, he became a coach, and he was in fact the person who taught Sandeep Singh and many more Indian players the art of drag flicking and defensive play. Today, he serves as the Superintendent of Police in Punjab and is one of the frontline warriors against the fight against coronavirus. Thank you, Jugraj, for your service, and we will always remember what you've contributed to the sport in our country. Thank you for watching. That's it for today. More tomorrow.